Thanks, Andrew. In 2008, 14-year-old Brandon McInerney shot and killed 15-year-old classmate Larry King. This is an event that rocked the working-class town of Oxnard, California. Well, filmmaker Marta Cunningham turns the lens on this story in her documentary titled Valentine Road. The film asks a lot of questions for which there are no easy answers, including what can be done to protect LGBTQ youth so they can express themselves publicly, and what happens when children kill children. There's a special screening of the film tonight, and we're glad Marta has joined us this morning to talk about it. Welcome to the studio. What a powerful film and what a powerful story. Tell us sort of the nuts and bolts of it.
So basically I read an article and was so moved by the story. You know, sometimes stories grip you more than others, and this one just really pulled me in, and I wanted to find out why it happened. Just simply, how do we get to a point where a child brings a gun to school and kills another child? And then that child is tried as an adult. So there's two pieces to this that I wanted to look at. At the time, I didn't know that 14-year-old children could be tried as adults in California. And not only tried as adults, but also looking at 53 years to life without the chance of parole. So there are a lot of complicated issues that we look at in Valentine Road, and we really wanted to shine a light on the queer community, the LGBT community, and why is it that we're in at this time 2008, now 2015, and we still are having all of this very serious homophobia, transphobia.
Well, tell us about the events that led up to February 12th, 2008, specifically about Larry or Lawrence King himself.
Lawrence King was, at the time, exploring gender identity, was also exploring sexuality, and was 15 years old in 8th grade, and went up to Brandon McInerney, a 14-year-old boy, and on a dare, and said, "Would you like to be my Valentine?" And unfortunately, that was the impetus for Lawrence being shot and then dying on Valentine's Day.
What happened, I guess, not just to the school, but to the community after this event?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that question, Tara, because I think that that's really a big piece of this. It's when you look at an incident, and maybe we take sound bites, 15 seconds rather, or 30 seconds here. Really, it's about the impact, what happens to a community after a hate crime like this, and when they're kids, right? So 24 children witnessed this crime, and there was horrible post-traumatic stress disorder in some of these children, and the implications and the impact to the parents and to the community at large was huge, and we're really not taking time to take care of our children and take care of people when something like this happens.
And what did you find, though, that, about this, the portrayal in the media of these events? How was this being put out there to the public, and why did you need to take the story further?
For me, I was extremely disappointed with the media coverage, and I felt that no one was looking at the child aspect. We were kind of comparing them to like 45-year-old adults, and I was like, hang on a minute. A kid has a crush, and that kid said, "Hey, I have a crush on you." Why are we making it anything bigger than that? And there was a lot of talk about provocative behavior, and I'm thinking to myself, do you know how many boys came up to me in 8th grade and said they had a crush? Or do you know how many times I said I had a crush on someone? You know, this is just a part of growing up. And so I felt like the media was extremely harsh on Lawrence King particularly, and that was really upsetting to me.
Well, I was incredibly shocked, by a lot of things in this, but specifically the teachers, the number of teachers who felt like Larry's behavior should have been, pushed aside. He shouldn't have manifested, and in essence, this kind of was his fault.
Right, blaming the victim was a huge piece to even the jurors, as you know, right? So blaming the victim is something that we're all familiar with, but when, again, we're talking about children, and we're talking about children who are acting in a normal way in 8th grade when you're questioning things, right? And you're kind of playing with things. It was really shocking to see how many adults really felt that it was Lawrence's actions, called it sexually deviant behavior or harassment. I'm like, wow, that's really uncalled for. So yeah, I felt like we had to keep going with this story and see this is what our environment is. This is what our kids are growing up in. These are the adults who are in charge of our education system. I mean, this is ridiculous. We have to take a look at this and go further into the story.
And I dare say nothing has really changed in 7 years. There is a free public screening tonight at Community Wise Resource Center on 12th Ave in the Southwest tonight. It is 7 o'clock. More information at breakfasttelevision.ca. It's really worth watching this film. I wish we had more time to talk about it. Marta Cunningham, thank you so much.
Thank